What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Backstop Banter. We got a quick one for you here tonight. But listen, we had to jump on, a little free agency recap, as the title says. Got some other news floating around there. Holiday season's here. We got people signing. We got introductory press conferences. We got breaking news. I mean, listen, there's a lot going on in the baseball world.
Have you seen these new cards?
And then Michael brings up cards immediately into the intro. I mean, it's just unbelievable what this guy does.
No,
I haven't. Is that a piece of the helmet?
It is a helmet. It's not a piece of it, but it's a thick card. I like these cards.
Hey, I got into Funko Pops, not cards.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Oh, yeah. The Funko Pop collection is growing.
Okay.
I think I'm up to 7 right now. But I got 6 more on the way.
Oh, wow.
Actually, 8 more on the way.
Did you say Funko Pops?
Oh, yeah. Big fan of it.
I just got to see a picture of them, make sure I know what I'm talking about here.
They're like the little figures.
Okay. Yes. Gotcha. Yeah, my buddy, one of my buddies, he collects quite a bit of them. That's actually what I bought him for Christmas the past 3 or 4 years, is something like a LeBron or something like that.
I got some Star Wars ones right now.
Uh-huh.
I got some Marvel. I got 2 Marvel up there. They're releasing the start of next year, Sopranos. So I bought all the Sopranos ones. And then there's a couple more Star Wars ones that I also have pre-ordered because they come out next year. So, listen, they're only like $15. It's not, I could get a more expensive hobby. It's good to see.
Yeah, like for $15 is not that bad. I just wonder, how valuable they'll be later on.
I think I collect more to have than to resell. So I'm not too worried about that. But listen, if ever I was in a pinch and maybe I could sell something, I wouldn't, why not?
I think going with the Sopranos, as you said, instead of Sopranos, I think that would not be a bad investment there, because I think that following will always be there,
Exactly.
So if you do need a quick turnaround on some type of money, I think you'll easily get money back on that one.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Michael, how are you doing now before we get into everything? It's almost Christmas. Are the kids excited about Santa? Are we doing Elf on the Shelf? What's going on?
We do not do
no Elf on the Shelf. I'm too old for the Elf on the Shelf. I never got to experience him.
Well, I just think it's too much more. Like, it's every day you have to do something else while trying to do life. And I just don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be creative. And I've always wondered, let's just get frank. What makes this elf all of a sudden make other toys come? And I got to be quiet because my kids are right next door trying to go to sleep. Makes the other toys come alive, because these parents, all of a sudden have the G.I. Joes in a battle with the elf and all this stuff. And then they freeze.
I think they're just more creative than you are, Michael.
But no. I'm fine with the creativity, but why aren't these kids that G.I. Joe has never done this before, but since the elf is around, now all of a sudden it can do it?
Because, listen, the G.I. Joe got to defend the home against an intruder elf.
Yeah. So we just stay away from it. But apparently my school where my kids go to do a elf on the shelf at school, and they have told them that someone has to believe, or everyone has to believe in the elf to have an elf on the shelf at your house. So now the kids just blame it on me that we don't have one, that I don't believe in elf on the shelf. So I'm like, no, elves aren't real.
It's not, you're a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy. Thank you, education system. I'm the bad guy.
Unbelievable.
Other than that, now ready for Christmas. Let's get this ball rolling. We're about to get hit with some cold weather, which I'm sure you guys, being in New York, are about to as well.
I don't think it's not going to be as bad as you guys. I'll tell you that.
No. Now they're talking about down to the single digits as far as temperature.
I have a friend in Iowa that I met through Xbox. Wind chill -45 today.
Oh, okay. Bet you that person didn't go outside at all.
Oh, no, we had work today.
Good job, Garrett.
So
we appreciate people like that. Of course, I've got to work out. Yeah, and have I talked to you since I've started my new job?
I know that you have. I don't know if we've told the people.
I don't know. Well, I've told people on my Count the Bucket episodes, but I'm now starting a new job. I'm a little hoarse right now because we do Christmas lights at our church and slash Christian school do a fundraiser where we put out Christmas lights around a little park here. And with the weather coming up, they wanted to take them down. So last night till 12:30 p.m., I guess, we were out trying to take the lights down before all this came. And then I had to be back at work at 8 a.m.
Why
So
are we taking the lights down? Just because it's getting cold?
I will say this: I'm not over it. I was just there to volunteer and help out, and they wanted them down, so I helped to take them down. I'll say that. So we took them down last night. Didn't get home till after midnight. And it was the first time I stepped foot in my house, and I went straight to bed and was supposed to be at work at 7 o'clock this morning. So got a little bit of a sore throat going on, but we'll punch through. We've got a jar of ice water, which will help for that. So
Oh yeah,
definitely rednecking it up here.
big jar guy.
Yes, mason jar. How about you? How are you doing?
Oh, listen, school's behind me. I'm officially done. I'm done. I'm graduated. I'm into the real world, I guess.
Awesome.
So I'm all done with that. Just waiting on grades, but I'm not too worried about that. It's not like I think I'm going to fail anything, so I'm assuming I'm done. Handed in my internship stuff, handed in final projects.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just getting the degree in the mail, and I'll be all good.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. So I spent some time today, sending applications out to a lot of places for a lot of different things, and hopefully I hear something back. But this is the beginning.
If you need a job down here in Harlan County, Kentucky, let me know, and I can hire you because I'm the manager. I'm the big dog.
I'll make sure to get right on that.
Okay, come on down.
Moving to Kentucky is one of my bucket list items.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of just this area and baseball and stuff, didn't even think about it. But me and Dalton Cornett that you guys know, that plays with Savannah Bananas, he is again. I'm sorry, guys, I can't speak. Signed with the Party Animals. He is not going to be a banana again. But me and him, or he and I, have been talking a little bit about some gloves. You know how he does the D3 bats, and he does make some special gloves and everything. We're trying to see if we can come up with some good ideas on some nice drops for some gloves. So I don't want to go out there too far unless something happens for sure, but it'd be kind of nice if we make what we've talked about happen. So watch out. Watch out.
We'll look forward to that, huh?
I mean, if we can make happen what we talked about, it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm just going to say that.
I expect nothing less.
So, with that being said, hey, what's been going on this offseason?
Yeah, listen, we're now, is there free agents out there still? Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest. All the big ones have signed, and we went over it a couple weeks ago. We never show last week, but a couple weeks ago, we went over it. So if you want, some review on the things that we've already done, because I'll run through it here real quick again. But don't want to sit here and rehash what we've already done. Judge goes back to the Yankees, Verlander to the Mets, Bogarts to the Padres. And Dansby Swanson ends up going to the Cubs. Trey Turner, went to not the Nationals. He was on the Nationals, to the Phillies. So, some of those big names out there and everything like that. And we were kind of waiting on one. And it's kind of the reason that we really did decide to have a show tonight. Because Carlos Correa was a Giant. All for about 4 days, maybe, I want to say. Probably a little bit longer than that, but Carlos Correa was absolutely going to be a Giant. It was tweeted out. It was a done deal. In fact, yesterday...
Was it Heyman that tweeted it out?
Yeah. But I think yesterday was supposed to be his introductory press conference for the Giants. And then all of a sudden, early in the day, we hear that he had failed the physical and that they didn't like something that was in the physical. And I think, I've heard different types of things that, it was from what he originally got drafted from, because I think during the draft process, he had something that teams didn't like. but whatever. And they don't like something that is physical. So then it's kind of like up in the air, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had signed, like I said, 13-year, $350 million contract with them. And then, Michael, since you know me, I stay up very late into the night, mostly into the morning. I get a notification. Actually, no. I'm scrolling. I open Twitter just because I'm bored, probably 3:30. And I see Carlos Correa to the Mets. And I was like, what? And Twitter these days, fake verified people. There's always parody accounts, whatever.
Especially with the check mark now.
Exactly. So I click on it, and I'm like, there's no way, right? And John Heyman, official account, Carlos Correa to the Mets, whatever. And I'm like, what the hell happened? So it does come out. Jeff Passan wrote a little article today. It says basically the Giants' contract with the star shortstop fell apart after the team expressed concerns during the physical examination, prompting Correa to reopen his free agency and sign in the middle of the night with the Mets. That is literally what happened. So he goes from the Giants to the Mets. He does lose some money in it, though. That is also something to point out. He went from 13,350 to 12 and 315. I believe he lost about $1 million per season, I want to say. And then because of the extra year, like 30 something million on top of that. So I mean, it's a big, that's over what, 42, $45 million that he's losing out on, obviously.
Right.
But Carlos Correa is a Met. He's going to end up playing third base. That opens up some other questions, obviously, too, because one of their big prospects was Brett Beatty. They played him at the end of the season last year, and I believe he broke a finger towards the end of the season. So they couldn't play him there anymore. Obviously, he ended up being out for the rest of the year because it was late in the season.
Right.
So does that mean that he automatically is just going to get traded now? And, what do they trade him for? Because now you look at it, I think they have Lindor for 10-plus years. Your shortstop. You have Correa for 12. That's your third baseman. You have Brandon Nimmo in center for 6 years now. I think Marte last year signed a 4-year contract. Pete Alonso doesn't have his big money contract yet, so that's just another one that they're going to have to sign. But hey, like we said, and like we said before, Steve Cohen is the richest owner in baseball, and he is certainly acting like it. I'm very, very interested to see, which I want to get into after, but what this does, down the line, because there will be repercussions because of this. I'll tell you right now, what was it, 2020? So 2026, there's going to be another lockout. There will absolutely be another lockout in 2026 because of everything that's going on. And it's just that's a stacked team. I mean, we do this every off season, and it's the on paper thing versus like what actually happens. Because look, the Dodgers should have won how many World Series with the teams that they put together? The Yankees should win World Series with the teams they put together. The Astros have had good teams, and while they've won multiple or a couple World Series, they've also lost in the World Series. The Braves last year, they go on the biggest heater of the year, and are on like a 115 win pace in the second half of the season. They fall. So listen, is it a guarantee all of a sudden that the Mets are going to do what they're supposed to do? No, but man, oh man, does Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso? Don't forget their catcher this season is going to be Francisco. I believe his last name's Alvarez. I want to say.
Sounds good to me.
And he was the number one prospect in baseball last year after Adley got called up and a couple other people got called up. So he's going to be their catcher next year. So now they have a top prospect in all of baseball as their catcher along with all the other people. Marte's obviously very good. We know what Nimmo did last year. So, they have Max Scherzer. They lose Jacob deGrom and all. Okay, well, we'll just go sign Justin Verlander, who won a Cy Young with an under 2 ERA. They also got Jose Quintana. They also got the guy from Japan. I can't remember his name at the very moment, but he's supposed to be good, depending on who you talk to. Apparently, I have seen a couple. It's always the same thing with people that come over from different countries when it comes to playing in
Right.
in the sports over here. Like even with the Red Sox, who they signed, the Japanese player that had come over. There's that's a massive overpay. I can't believe they paid that much. And there's other people that are like, oh, he's going to be the next great hitter. So we're not going to find out until obviously the season starts. But you gotta say it's World Series or bust, even though it's baseball and the stupidest things happen, Michael.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, and I've been reading a couple articles talking about how even uh, Carrera was with his agent. I want to say they may have been in Hawaii or was in San Francisco. So it was like a 3 or 4 hour time difference with New York, and how when this whole thing went down, I'm just kind of backtracking with this. And when the deal was finally made, how he actually had tackled his agent while he was on the phone about the deal, being excited about it. So, yeah, I think the Mets are officially here making the noises that we need to be making. And I do recall, I want to say when did Cohen take over the team? In 2020?
I believe this season will be his third season.
And I do think like in 2020, there was somebody that was on this show that said 2023, give him 3 years. That's when the Mets may win it. I can't recall. Connie, can you please clarify if someone said 3 years?
I'm going to imagine the way Michael's talking right now that it was him.
I mean, I want to make sure you do recall me saying that multiple times.
I don't recall anything.
Are you serious?
Very bad memory.
I know you are lying on this because I said it time and time again that he had to change the culture, had to change some of the personnel and get who he wanted and get a winning atmosphere in there. Now, am I saying that it's done now? No, obviously it's still not done. But gradually, this Mets team has been moving in the right direction. DeGrom, I don't know. I don't know what went on there. I still think it's a little questionable what happened.
I just don't think he wanted to play here.
But why?
Some people aren't built for the New York media.
It's guaranteed money. Who cares?
Yeah, but you know what else is guaranteed? I don't think Texas has state tax.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, like
$35 million hits a lot different than New York state tax.
I mean, I'm okay, I guess, but at the same time, like you can tax me a little bit, but if I win that World Series ring, that'll happen. Like because you have Verlander who left Texas to come to New York.
Listen, Verlander's also already won World Series Cy Youngs. At this point, wouldn't you just take the most money as well?
So that wouldn't be the taxes. That's what I'm saying. Like the taxes can't be that bad of a difference there.
No, I'm telling you they are.
But I'm just saying, like they're getting millions of dollars. Let's be honest.
No, listen, it's not like he was going to get taxed and he was only going to make $10. But
right. So I just
don't think I just don't think DeGrom wanted to be here because of dealing with the media and the constant scrutiny. And I think also, I feel like in his head.
I'm going to be this guy, okay? I'm going to be this guy. I almost think DeGrom is great as a pitcher and everything, but why didn't we make these moves earlier and get some of these other guys? Like maybe DeGrom's attitude in the locker room might have been somewhat of the hesitation of this not happening sooner. Now that we can say, hey, we got rid of him. We didn't have to pay him. We can actually say this broke free on best terms. Like
I would agree with you, but it's Cohen now. Like if the Wilpons still own the Mets, it would be like, okay, well, we don't know if we can sign anybody else because we got to worry about signing DeGrom. And if you sign DeGrom, we probably can't sign anybody else. With Cohen, we see it now. He can sign whoever the hell he wants.
No. Maybe they didn't want DeGrom to stay. Like maybe he's a good pitcher, but they
made him an offer. If they don't want him to stay, do you even make an offer?
Okay. We seen that there was an offer, but we had already heard that there was no way that he was going back.
Yeah, but that's more of a him thing than them.
But why did it happen? Like, we don't know what the turmoil is going on inside the locker room between the two organizations, his people and the franchise. So
I
maybe
think
they're
you're
like,
looking more cynically than I am.
I
So
mean,
look,
I'm just saying.
since when does this happen? I'm Mr. Nice Guy. You're looking cynical. What's going on?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, because DeGrom's the best pitcher in baseball right now, hands down, when healthy.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say.
So I don't know why Cohen wouldn't say, "Here's the bank, back up the Brinks truck, whatever you want, let me know, and we're rolling with you, and we're leading this team on in." But
Well, I mean, I see. Here's you want to know what I think the difference is. If he was healthy last season and pitched the entire year and put together a year like Judge did, you know what I mean? Like in comparison, how he bet on himself and then DeGrom was kind of betting on himself too, and put up, if you want to Cy Young and stayed healthy the entire year, made 35 starts, pitched his one game in the playoff, which is the only game they won in the playoffs actually. I think they would have, but I think it was the fact that last year he was hurt, and then this year he pitched I think 12 games in the regular season, and then that one. So it was kind of like we can't, because listen, even Cohen has to be responsible. Because listen, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're spending it on stupid stuff,
exactly.
Listen, by the way, he can spend it on stupid stuff, and it doesn't really matter. Because I think somebody did the math. This is like 0.3% of his net worth. Like this means absolutely nothing.
That is stupid. But I'm just going to go back to what I'm kind of saying here. I just wonder if DeGrom was kind of cancerous in the locker room, maybe confrontational a little too much, very opinionated, let's say it that way. And they had put a wedge in between each other throughout his career with the Mets. And it was already bygones are going to be bygones. Hey, let's be the public eye here. Let's make an offer. We know he's not going to take it. Yeah. Oh, man, he didn't take our offer. Hey, Verlander, you want to come pitch for the Mets? Because now that DeGrom has for sure not coming back with us, we're making a roll with it. Because the Mets made a midnight hour move on this, and it was 3 a.m. in New York to get I drew a blank, get me out here. Correra to sign here. Not even to mention what everyone else that they have signed. But it was like DeGrom's first was the move, and then it's like everything else was dominoes to take off.
See, I will say this too. No, I think even if they kept him, everything would have happened. I was going to say maybe if they keep him. Well, obviously, if they keep him, Verlander doesn't come here. I still think they would have signed everybody else.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I still think they signed Senga and, Cohen has money. And he said when he bought the team, he wanted to win a World Series in 5 years.
Yeah.
So he's certainly trying to.
And I also think the Phillies put a little pressure on him too.
I think the whole division is. I mean, minus obviously the Nationals and the Marlins, besides Sandy Alcantara, like they don't really have anybody.
So the Phillies and the Braves.
Yeah. So the Phillies and the Braves, like obviously the Braves just swept you in a season in the series at the end of the year that could have made you the division winner. You wouldn't even have been playing in the wild card.
Right.
And then you have I keep saying the Nationals because that's where he played. Then you have the Phillies who go out. They already have Harper. They already have Schwarber. They already have is Castellanos there? Is that where he is?
Yeah, Castellanos. Yeah.
They have Hoskins as well. And then it's like, oh, you guys added Trey Turner too? Like, oh, we might have to pick up the pace here.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were a very good team last year, made it to the World Series without him. Mm-hmm. So that obviously adds something. But Here's Mike. Can I be a cynical Yankee fan real quick? Just
of course.
I want my apology, Met fans. I want my apology. Every single Met fan should apologize to all the Yankee fans they know, because for years, all we had to hear, "Oh, the Yankees just bought their championships. They didn't really do anything." If the Mets win a World Series this year and you celebrate the World Series title, I want an apology, because the Mets bought their World Series ring. Hey, listen. Let me reiterate this too. I don't have a problem with it. If Steve Cohen was my owner, I would listen. Keep spending there, buddy. You got more billions of dollars. So why are we stopping at Correa? You should have made a run at Aaron Judge too. You should have signed Trey Turner too. Put him at second base. I would have told him to sign everybody. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying, if you're going to sit there and celebrate it, I want my apology, because they bought their championships. Okay, so what do you call what the Mets are doing? Because Michael, let me And this kind of, transitions into the next topic that I wanted to get into just real quickly.
Okay.
Do you know what their payroll is going to be next year, including the luxury tax?
I mean, not even looking at it, I'm just guessing with you. I would say it's going to be like 295 million.
Oh, you're so cute.
Really, it's going to even be more than that because, like the Reds was probably like 45 million.
Michael, their luxury tax, because for every dollar you spend over the cap or whatever, the whatever it is, the tax threshold, every dollar gets taxed. The taxes they pay alone, not including the payroll of the team, is $111 million. $111 million. Now, on top of the payroll, their estimated payroll is going to be $495 million. They are almost going to spend $500 million than in this upcoming season.
Wow.
Michael, the Diamondbacks, Orioles, Reds, Guardians, Royals, Marlins, A's, Pirates, Rays, and Nationals, their total payroll is under $111 million. That's what he's
together
tax. No.
Okay.
I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
But that's what they're paying in taxes.
That's crazy. That they're
$495 million. Do you know what the previous maximum payroll was in baseball history? Take a guess here, Michael.
240 mil.
350. So he's spending 145 million, right? Then the next closest payroll in the history of the sport. Now, once again, Michael, you heard me. What?
Just making sure. Say this again now.
The previous high in baseball history
for
a total payroll was 350 million.
Okay.
The Mets payroll this season will be 495 million.
Goodness.
So I'm not wrong, right? That's 145 million?
Yep, roughly, yeah. That's more than what the Reds are spending for the whole season.
$145 million higher than ever. So, and Michael?
They're higher than the highest paid team ever than what the Reds are even paying this year.
Yeah. And listen, there was a self-imposed Cohen tax, when he bought the team. They kind of I think this is why the taxes are so high, because if you ever went over this point, they really had to punish you and do whatever. This is exactly, and Michael, you are my witness.
Yes,
I am reiterating, if this was my team, I would want him to do the exact same thing, and I have zero issue with what he's doing. It is his money, and there's no salary cap in baseball. Why wouldn't you spend it?
Yeah,
I would buy every championship I could. Oh, you want to tease me that I bought my championships and I didn't earn them with self-made players? Guess what? I'll put the rings in my ears and block you out. I don't care what you're talking about. So it's cool. There's going to be a lockout in 2026 because
a Cohen lockout.
Yes, no, there is, because and we said this during the lockout coverage a lot. Yes, it is the players versus the owners, because the players always want more and blah blah blah. And when you can get money like this, why wouldn't you want more? But it is always the owners versus the owners too. It is a triangle. It is not just a back and forth. It's players versus owners, or then it's owners versus owners. Because you're telling me that the Kansas City Royals right now, whoever owns that team, whoever owns the Guardians, whoever owns your Reds, whoever owns the Rays. Listen, I've always been I'm a fan of a big market team, so I don't have to go through it. It's the Yankees. They print money. But the small market teams can't compete now.
No.
Now it's over. Like before, And I still kind of give a little elbow to the small market teams because they do get that luxury tax money sent back to them so they can use that money to spend it on their team, and instead of doing that they just put it in their pockets. So when these owners say, oh, we don't have enough money to compete, listen, you probably don't have enough money to compete at the Cohen level, but there's no reason you should have a $45 million payroll.
But at the same, I mean, I agree. Trust me, I agree because I'm suffering by watching my Reds. But at the same time, like, how much money are these teams getting?
I saw something that won like $70 million.
Okay, so like that's one player for
No, that's a
Mets.
season.
That's one player for the Mets, basically. I mean, obviously I'm being sarcastic here, but I'm saying
I know, but I'm saying, Michael, you just got more money in luxury tax dollars than your actual payroll.
I agree.
So, like I said, it is out of pocket now to the point where you literally, like, small market teams can't compete because listen, the Reds have a free agent. Say that Mike Trout played for the Reds, and it was and he had done everything up in his career that he had done with the Reds instead. He hits free agency. You think the Reds could offer him a 10-year, $400 million contract?
Absolutely not. I'm
So
surprised
no,
we got Bob.
yeah. So it's the same, Yankees, Dodgers, Angels, the Mets, the Red
The
Sox.
only way we would be like to offer you 20 years. You know,
you have to offer like a 40-year contract, $600 million, and it's like, we'll pay you eventually.
Yeah, and then hope that you retire.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, because if you retire, I would imagine you still, because Chris Davis is getting paid. You're still paying Ken Griffey.
But I think he allocated that money to go that way. I really don't know how that works because when you retire,
I don't know exactly how it works either, to be honest. But whatever.
But I think Ken Griffey Jr.'s was like, "Hey, you owe me this X amount of money. Instead of paying it to me in one lump sum, spread it over for this many years to make it easier for the organization."
Yeah, true, probably. But yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a salary cap because I don't think the players will allow it to happen. But there's going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be. That if you spend over a certain amount of money, that I can't come up with ideas. Honestly.
I think that may be a salary cap.
Then we're not going to have a baseball season.
No, I think the players may end up being for it.
Why would the players be for it? They're the ones that benefit.
But because let's just do quick math. There's 30 teams, right?
Yeah.
9 players. 9 times 3 is 27, so 270 players just starting. So 270 players. If there's no cap and you have only one Cohen that can pay as much as he wants to per capita on whatever he wants, you're going to have 9 players that are probably more or less at the end of the day at some point in a generation, we'll say 10 years, are the best players on that one team getting paid the most, while the rest of the players are pretty much suffering because they can't be competing with that. So to keep the other teams or other players from going to one team because they
but even then, listen, I know it seems this way because a lot of free agents, it seems like the Mets have signed everybody, but it's not like they only have one possible team to go to.
I'm saying though, we're going in a direction where Cohen is paying a lot. Like, this is only his third year. Like, if we keep going in this trend, he can keep paying. Like, that's what I'm saying. We may have to actually have a cap. Say, hey, this is all teams can pay, because if not, everyone's just going to go play for the Mets because he's got the biggest pocket.
Yeah, but you'll still have the people that don't want to go play there or that will want to stay with the team that they're on.
Yes, but it's not going to be competitive. And that's why I think there'll be a cap for competitive reasons only.
See, I think there's going to be a cap because of small market teams. I don't think there's going to be a cap because of competitive reasons, only because we've seen it. Like, my example before, the Dodgers have won a World Series in 2020. Before that, it was in the 80s, I think it was. So they had gone 30-plus years without winning the title. The Yankees haven't won one since 2009. The Cubs had one in 103 years or whatever. So if this was basketball, I would say, because Michael, and obviously you have a basketball show. To me, in basketball, the team with the best players win more often than not. Like you don't have
the healthiest best players.
Well, yeah, but health in all sports matters. So
right.
Even playing field, everyone's healthy. The team with it, like LeBron went to the finals for how many years? The Warriors, when they had KD, it was basically a foregone conclusion. Like those teams make it. Mike Trout hasn't even made the playoffs. Like the Dodgers have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. They had why can't I think of other people on their team now?
Trey Turner.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Turner last season. All these great, unbelievable players for MVPs, Silver Sluggers, they got bounced in the first round. So it really is that whoever gets hot and however good your starting pitcher is the next day and blah, blah, blah. So I don't think there would be a salary cap for competitive reasons. I think it's going to be like we can't do this. Because, honestly, Michael, the business model doesn't make sense. Like, Cohen can do this because he made his billions of dollars in other places. Like, even the Yankees, right? I'll be honest. Even the Yankees probably don't have this kind of money. Like, because you know who Steve Cohen answers to? Himself.
Right.
Al Steinbrenner is the owner of the Yankees, but there's stockholders in the Yankees. So, like, if they all of a sudden go out and spend $500 million, it's like, whoa, listen. I own a stock in the Yankees. Like, I know that we want to win too, and it's cool, but like, we're not doing this. I'm vetoing that. Like, there's people to answer to. Steve Cohen looks in the mirror and says, "Hey, you know what? What's $500 million to me?" So there's a difference there, but I think it's just going to get to the point where it's like we can't do this because, like I said, the business model doesn't make sense. Like the Mets are going to lose money this year. Like, they're going to lose money this year, I think, even if they win the World Series. Because, obviously, you would imagine they're going to sell out a lot of games this year. You would imagine they're going to make the playoffs. You would imagine that they would go on a deep playoff run. Even with all that, they're probably going to lose money. Because, that's just
not where he's making money.
Because that's just the payroll. Like, that doesn't include operations costs of the stadium. It doesn't include, your beer cart person that you got to pay for the season, the security guard, whatever. So they're probably going to lose money this year. And for Cohen, losing money is like, okay, I just made, I lost $100 million today on the Mets, but I made $250 with my actual business. Okay, that evens out. Like it's a completely different thing where
I can write this off on taxes because I took a loss.
What?
He can write it off on taxes because he took a loss and not show a game.
And like I said, I'll go back to the Yankees. How Steinbrenner's worth is based on how much the Yankees are worth. Like, he doesn't have that's why he's worth so much money. That's why he's a billionaire. Steve Cohen was not a billionaire because of the Mets. He's a billionaire because of whatever the hell he did in, I think it's stocks or some weird thing, or like banking. But there's just going to be another lockout, and I think it's going to be this one might be longer. This one might be a real long one. Like, this one cut into a couple weeks of the season. If they really want a salary cap, there might not be a baseball season because the NHL didn't have a salary cap, and I think they locked out the entire season. They missed a season, I believe, in the 90s, I want to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to say 93, maybe.
I thought, something like 93, 94, somewhere around there. They missed a season, and then they came out, and now they have a salary cap, and that's why the NFL, the Bengals are competing with the Giants, and you have Kansas City, the Chiefs can go to the playoffs and make however much sign whoever every single season because you would imagine the Giants and the Jets and teams like that in the big market cities can't
Right.
outspend them. Like, it's literally not possible. It is a hard salary cap league. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And I don't exactly look forward to it because, like I said, I think it's going to be quite the lockout. Quite the lockout.
We'll just have to count and number the days as we get to it to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And speaking of counting the days until it goes, I believe another situation in baseball that had days being counted has been reduced.
Yeah. Honestly, like maybe an hour and a half now.
It's been over an hour now.
Yeah, like before we went live, Trevor Bauer is back. He was reinstated immediately. I believe his suspension was supposed to be for like 300 something days. It got reduced to 194, I believe it is.
192,
his salary, although I will say for the first like 50 games of the season, is cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, he's a member of the Dodgers right now because that is where he was signed to when everything happened.
They have till January 6th to decide to keep or to cut him.
There is a 0% chance they don't cut him. 0.
You don't think they can keep him?
No.
I mean,
I don't think he gets another job.
Why?
Listen, I don't know. I know that, like, listen, based on Twitter comments, and that's always a dangerous game to play. Like the case got dropped and this and that, all this stuff happened that made him look good. But that is,
to my knowledge, and I don't know everything, there is no case that has proven him guilty in anything.
Yeah, and I also saw somebody else say on Twitter that like she admitted she like made it up or something like
really?
that. Listen, like I said, these are Twitter comments.
Right.
So
Understandable.
I am not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty.
Right.
I have no idea. But I think, listen, we just saw this with Deshaun Watson, but let me tell you why it's different. It is very, very, very difficult, as we all know if you watch football, to find a quarterback in the NFL. And Deshaun Watson, when he was playing, top 5 quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And if you can get a quarterback in the NFL, you can change your entire franchise. You can have a pitcher in the MLB, and it means absolutely nothing. Because even if he goes out, pitches 8 innings, shuts the team out, gives up no hits, you can bring your closer, and he can give up 18 runs in the 9th inning, you lose, 18-17.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if a team is going to take the risk of, like, the backlash that they might face for signing. No matter like I said, no matter what, if guilt, innocence, whatever, there's still going to be people on both sides that believe one thing for sure. There will be people that, he's guilty no matter what. There's people, he's innocent no matter what. And I don't know if anybody's going to really deal with that. I
just think it's crazy that in society, and I'm not saying right or wrong on this, I just think it's crazy that as we, as society, if something of any accusation comes about, expect someone to be let go, but at the same time expect someone to have a second chance. Because, even what you said about Watson, like, everyone thought he should be cut right away for his accusations, which obviously some have been proven on that already as well. But they were completely fine with him being signed right away or traded for the Browns. Like, if he needed to be cut from one team, why are we okay with him signing with another team? Like, it's the same year.
Well, like I said, I think it depends on what side of Twitter you're on too, or what side of the world you're on. Because I look on Twitter and it's, can't wait to see Deshaun Watson get back to play. And there's other people I follow that won't say his name.
Really?
They say Cleveland quarterback.
Right. I guess that is true.
So like I said, it's going to be the exact same thing with Bauer. I mean, it's going to be
right. But Bob Nightingale on Twitter, who is a sports guru, he put on here 49 minutes ago, the Dodgers will have to pay Trevor Bauer about $23 million when they officially announce they are releasing him. is just what his Twitter says.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
you're
going to release him,
I think they release him especially because it's the Dodgers. Like they have like 3 pitchers
higher
in their farm.
standards.
Yeah, well, not even that. They have like 3 pitchers in their farm system. They already have good pitchers. It'd be different if maybe this is like, I don't know, some lower level.
But I'm going to say this: if I'm Trevor Bauer, I'm probably going to be suing someone off of this because nothing has been proven true. You've been banned for 190 some days and all this stuff, and you've not been paid. I'm just saying, like, I'd say there's probably going to be some, what it's called, like countersuing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I would not be shocked.
And I'm just thinking, if the Dodgers really have to pay him $23 million to release him, why not just keep him? Like,
because it's probably going to be more to keep him, I would imagine.
I would assume $23 million is his contract.
Yeah, it could just be his salary because baseball contracts are guaranteed.
So I don't really know. Like, if he plays, he's probably got that. So if they cut him and he signs with someone else, is that free money for that team that year?
No, they have to sign to a contract.
But who's paying that year contract? Would it be under the Dodgers?
No, the Dodgers have to cut him. They have to pay him, but it's a new contract.
So can he get paid this, like...
Yeah, he can get paid however much somebody signs him for.
So would he be getting the Dodgers pay, or would he be back paid from the Dodgers?
No, he gets the Dodgers pay because they have to cut him. And that money's guaranteed because he signed a contract with them. So he gets the million, whatever. And then say he signs a $10 million contract with the Reds.
Which would be, I think, the best idea. Not because I'm a Reds fan, because you had a great season with us. Everything went good. Come back to the Reds where everything went well. And let's get back to what it was for him. Like, I think that would be good for him.
Yeah, so that he would make $35 million.
That's crazy that he can basically make 2 salaries in 1 year.
I mean, it's like what happens with coaches. Like Matt Rule, who got fired from the Panthers this year. He had like $60 million left in his contract. He just signed a contract to be a college coach. He's gotten both of them. That's
crazy. Fire me, guys.
Yeah, you don't have a multi-million-dollar contract, though. Sorry, Mike.
No, I do not. Well, listen, it's almost 10 o'clock, and we acted like this is going to be a short episode.
I know it is because it's over.
Sounds good.
We had Correa. There's going to be a lockout. Bauer. You know who's signed in free agency? Judge is back. Verlander's with the Mets. Carlos Rodon is on the Yankees.
Designated for free agent.
Who?
Mike Moustakas.
Moustakas?
There we go. Whew, there's a T in there.
Moustakas.
That's what I said?
No, you did.
Totally. Let's say it at the same time. Ready?
Moustakas.
Moustakas.
Okay, yeah. Listen, as for me, Anthony Connor _ on Twitter. My link tree's in the bio. You can find everything I do there. And Michael, where can they find you?
You can find me. You can find both of us at Backstop Banter. That you can see in my name right there.
True.
But you can find me on Twitter at MDLawson00. You can find my link tree in the bio, and as well as everything else. On Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time is Count the Bucket. Come check us out where we talk everything NBA. And we do appreciate all the love and support.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. We will catch you on the next episode, whatever that is. And
we'll see you next year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all. It's all good.
Merry